Ogba Chief Magistrate Court in Lagos State has ordered the remand of a 45-year-old primary school teacher, Stella Nwadiggbo, at the Kirikiri Correctional Centre for allegedly assaulting a 3-year-old pupil in Ikorodu. The teacher was caught on video slapping the young child during classes, with the footage quickly going viral and sparking widespread outrage. Following the incident, Nwadiggbo was arrested and detained by the Family Support Unit FSU of the Ikorodu Police Division. Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyi confirmed that the teacher was arraigned on Thursday at Magistrate Court 1, Ogba. He noted that the arraignment was ordered by the State Commissioner of Police, Olerewaju Ishola, under the charges of indecent treatment and assault of a child. Preliminary investigations revealed the suspect was captured in a viral video indecently treating and assaulting a 3-year-old pupil of a primary school in Ikorodu, Hundeyi stated. Upon receiving the video, the Family Support Unit promptly arrested Nwadiggbo on Wednesday, January 8, 2025. She was subsequently transferred to the Gender Unit of the Command Headquarters for further investigation. The victim has since been taken to a medical facility for treatment and observation. The court ordered Nwadiggbo's remand at the Kirikiri Correctional Centre until February 18, 2025, when the case is scheduled for continuation of hearing. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police praised citizens for promptly reporting the incident and assured the public of the command's commitment to safeguarding the rights and safety of residents and visitors in Lagos State. The swift response to this case underscores the Lagos State Police Command's resolve to ensure the protection of vulnerable individuals, Hundeyi added. What are your thoughts on this story?
Well, when I first saw the story, I asked 3-year-old in the primary school. I tried to put it together. I think, number one, that child is too young to be in the primary school, except, but you know, these days parents are always pushing the children and what have you. And it's really very sad for Nwadiggbo, or a lot of our teachers are not trained. They don't have the educational training to handle children. A lot of people in the school system, teachers and what have you, they are just there for, let's get something to survive, or not because they have passion for academic or to train or to impart knowledge, you know. So this is one case that it's not isolated.
No, it's not.
It's not an isolated case. It's just unfortunate for her, or it's good for us that this was captured. You know, because if it wasn't captured, it would have been like the several of such cases in the system.
Right. Now, you rightly mentioned the teachers not being trained.
Yes.
Now, do you think that this? I want to ask this question, but I'm even trying to figure out a better way to ask it, because when you look at the public schools, do those teachers in public schools, which are government-owned schools, get some form of, you know, training as regards things like anger management, their mental health? Do you think is being processed? Now, when you look at it also from you said most of them do not want to work, right? They don't want to teach. They don't want to teach. They are basically there because life is hard and everybody needs a thing to do to get by, right? Now, how do these schools, both private and government-owned schools, ascertain the fitness of a person? What measures do you think should be put in place to ascertain the psychological fitness of a person, the mental fitness, other than the fact that, can you teach math? Oh yeah, I can do math. Can you teach English? Basically, that is the question that is being asked, right? How do you think these schools will progress from this? Because like you said, this is not an isolated case. It's just because this came out to the limelight, right? Which, in my opinion, if I would say so myself, it's not a bad idea that this came out, because it's giving everybody an overview of what really happens behind the curtains, right? Now, what sort of trainings, what sort of measures should both government-owned schools and private-owned schools put in place to make sure that their teachers and their staff members are well evaluated before employment?
I think to go to those even extent is like jumping the bridge. Number one, I think we have a teacher training college and what have you, you know. For you to be an educationist, they have their own special training. But I think this time around, you see people, okay, you are a graduate, okay, you have a certificate in this, not people who are trained as teachers.
Right.
So if they have that basic teacher training as a background, it would do a lot. Right. It will do a lot for them before even thinking about evaluating their mental health and what have you. And, you know, I was discussing with a friend and she was telling me in those days when they were in the class, you see, even from the Ministry of Education, they will send people to the classrooms to come and see how the children are being taught. You will be in the class, you will see some men and women enter your class, they will just sit behind and be listening to what the teacher is doing, how he's teaching.
Uninformed and
yes, uninformed. They don't inform them. But I don't think anything like that happens again.
Why do you think the system has fallen behind so bad?
When a system is corrupt, it's a wrath. And when a wound putrefies, it spreads down everywhere. That's what is happening. It's touching every angle in the society. They will just come and they will just, at the end of the class, they will ask the teachers question based on what you are teaching the children. So then teachers used to sit or prepare themselves, you know, and I think they used to have teachers' retreats where a lot of all these things are considered, how you handle children, empathy, understanding the mind of the children. Because you have to understand children before you can teach children.
Right.
So, but all that is missing. And so you just see people, they carry their frustration, they just pour it out on the innocent children or some recalcitrant children too. You know, there's a way when you have the proper training, there's a way to handle your job. And I think this woman, it's so sad that this child in question is a very young child.
Right. Did you get to see the video?
I saw her. I didn't see her assaulting. I just saw her picture.
Oh,
and
let me give you a little backstory. Now,
okay.
You know, this is a continuation of the series of this event, of this story, you know, on the show. Because we actually broke when we talked about it came up. When it broke,
okay.
Right? So let me give you some backstory. Right?
Okay.
Children have just come back from holidays. What do we do at Christmas? We eat rice. Christmas is for eating rice, running up and down, playing, visiting your cousins, all the people that you haven't seen. In fact, basically, I would say when I was small, what we do is we go from one place to the other to eat. My dad would say, your stomach will burst. Basically, the plan is he would say, eat at home before you go. Because when you get to those people's house, you want to run all around.
Eat.
Christmas, children just want to eat, play with their family, their friends, their cousins. Nobody has an interest in wanting to go back to reading because that is what you've done prior to the holiday, you know, to be pending to the holidays. Now, during the holidays, these children have played. School resumed on the 6th for many people. She was trying to ask the boy the numbers and he was making an error, and that is what prompted the slap. And the magnitude of the hit to the cheek is not befitting for an adult, let alone a three-year-old. Right? Now, which brings me to the other thing I want to talk about as regards this topic, where do you think this judgment of remanding her in Kirikiri prison, do you think it's a fair enough judgment as regards, do you think she should have probably been let go with a warning, some form, so maybe not something not as strict as being remanded till 18th of February? Do you think there would have been a lighter punishment in the regard of her actions instead of being remanded till 18th? Given that 18th is almost a month, at least a month.
Yes, It's a stringent punishment, but again, I don't know what made them come to that decision.
Oh, because I think, in my opinion, I think the weight of the slap was quite heavy.
It was aggressive, the aggression
and it was twice.
Oh.
Succession.
So maybe they are just using it to sound like to let others learn that it's not just you just be corrected or you just be warned. You will go through some pain yourself because they can't just call her and start slapping her.
No.
You know, the law. So maybe when she comes out, they might now give her lighter terms or what have you.
Right.
But this remanding is actually the critical punishment for her. So, and I'm sure she's going to learn, and others too will learn from this.